Hi, my name is Daniela Genus, and in this video I want to share my top tips on how to start a business on a budget. So you've got this fantastic business idea, you've registered the company, but you don't have any money. And you don't have any friends or family that are going to be generous and give you a business loan. So what do? There's a few things I'm going to share with you, several of my tips. Tip number 1, work out what is essential for the business and what is a bonus. Often in the beginning of starting a business, people think that they need everything. I need an office, I need a professional website, all singing or dancing website, I need marketing materials, I need a brochure. Many of these things are superfluous to requirements for the first few months. So focus on exactly what is essential, and that could be your website. I think website is fairly essential, but not everything. You don't need everything immediately. And an example that I always use, a few years ago, I was a panel member for a startup pitch, and a number of businesses presented, and one of the young ladies on the pitch, she came with a business idea, and in the business idea she said she needed, it was something absurd, like £10,000 for an office space for 6 months. At the time, I was in an office and I was paying about £300 a month for the office, and I'd been running for a few years at this point. And I asked her, why do you have to have an office when you're not really even started yet? And it was for something, I can't remember the exact business idea, but I remember the business idea didn't necessarily need a base. A lot of what you could do was online. And she said, well, when you start a business, you have to have an office, so it's not professional. Well, actually, there's many people with businesses that don't have an office, that work from home, that rent co-working spaces, which is a great thing to do if you need to get out of your house. Much cheaper. You don't necessarily have to sign a long-term contract. You can pop in and out. There's local cafes, there's libraries, there's a plethora of different places that you can use that don't require you spending thousands of pounds on an office that you don't really need. So don't make that mistake. Make sure you know what are the essentials and what are the bonuses, and work towards those bonuses for later in the year or later down the line when the business is generating enough income to be able to afford them. Tip number 2. So we determined that you probably need a website in the first instance. Web development companies and branding agencies and all of those kind of organisations can be quite expensive, and when you're first starting, you may not have the finance to cover an all singing or dancing website. But there's websites such as People Per Hour, freelancer.com, and a variety of others where you can hire freelancers. You post a brief and members of the website will pitch and present their pricing and provide examples of work that they've done previously. You're able to see recommendations and read referrals from other people that the freelancers have worked with. And many of them offer unlimited revisions, which is a super cost-effective way to get a website done, a flyer, logos, all sorts of things. So check those out rather than dishing out lots of money on stuff that you can't really afford. Take advantage of the free programs that are out there. So there's many startup programs that, in addition to business training, you can also get startup loans and startup grants or incubator space. So have a look around. They are competitive, but if you present yourself well and you have a good business idea, it can be an excellent kind of step in the right direction of generating additional support for your business, not just financial support. And also, if you've been to university, if you're a student or a graduate, check in with your university. Many universities offer programs for students and alumni to start their own businesses, and again, you can get grant funding, you can get incubator space. Check them out. In addition to that, universities are great places to find young and fresh talent. So if you need websites doing or you need design work, contact the relevant departments. Offer the work as a university project. Get some work experience staffing. Offer some internships, and don't do it in an exploitative way. Obviously, offer some sort of benefit to the young people, the students that you're working with. But I think it's a great win-win situation. The students get an opportunity to add to their portfolio. You get the stuff that you need for your business. And actually, university, again, it has great talent. You may be able to find new members of staff for the future for your business. Take advantage of social media. There is paid advertising on social media. You may not be able to afford that, but the general usage of social media is free. Try and build up an audience base for your business with free tools such as Twitter, Instagram, YouTube. There's a variety of different methods that you can use that don't cost a lot. And if you do have a little bit of budget, particularly with Facebook, I think most of them, you can do a budget. You can set a budget for the length of time and for the amount that you want to spend on your advertising campaign. The next tip, learn to do things yourself. And obviously there's certain things that you're not going to be able to do. If you're not a web developer, you may not be able to create a singing or dancing website, but there are lots of build your own websites such as Wix.com, where if you sit and you do take your time, you may be able to build your own website. But separate and aside from that, accountancy fees, for example, can be quite expensive. You don't have lots of incoming and outgoings. Manage your own finances. There are lots of tools available again that you can use and are quite easy to work out how to use, that don't cost a lot. When I started my first business, for the first 2 to 3 years, I did all my bookkeeping myself, and that saved me a lot of money. And if you're at the stage where you're starting to get clients but not enough to cover all of your costs, ask for prepayment from clients. Now that might sound really bold, but it's something that I did in my previous business. I ran an event management company, and I would ask for 50% of the fee upfront, and the remaining 50% would have to be paid within 24 hours of the event. And that did fantastic things for my cash flow, and it meant that I was able to use those funds to do things with the business. I hope you found that useful. If you did, please click like. If you haven't already done so, please subscribe to the channel. If you have any tips that you want to leave, please write a comment. And if you think there's somebody that will find this video useful, please share with them. Thanks for watching.